Hi everyone, Dia Bondi here with this week's The Naked Ask, which is all about raw talk of everything to do with asking. I'm Dia Bondi, longtime leadership communications coach and creator of Ask Like an Auctioneer, a program and what I hope will be a movement to help women like you ask for more and get it using everything I've learned in the world of fundraising auctioneering, which I do as my impact hobby for nonprofits that benefit women and girls. Okay. Today, I want to talk to you about the flip side of asking. So, yes, we all need the courage to ask for what we really want. And I did it even just this week. I had to muster my own courage to DM an organization that I really want to do a partnership with, to sort of cold DM them. And it took courage. And did I scare myself a little bit? Yes, and that's fine. That means I know I'm in the zone of mastery. So I didn't let it stop me. I went ahead and did it. And so yes, we have to have courage to ask for the things that we really want, the things that matter to our goals. But the flip side of that is finding the courage also to say no when we get a counteroffer that is below what we're willing to say yes to. So it does take courage for us to hold on to ourselves as we go from the initial ask to the back and forth negotiation. In some cases, you might be getting a counteroffer that still falls in the yes zone. Great. But when we're super clear about where our bottom is, we're going to be more likely to hold on to that and to be able to activate our courage to say, thank you for the counteroffer. No, not that. I have to decline. So yes, courage takes courage to say yes and ask for something big. And it takes courage to say no thank you to the counteroffers that we get all the time. So this usually happens, I notice, when values between an asker and an askee really collide. When we don't share the same sense of value around something. Isn't to say that one is necessarily better than the other, but they collide. They don't harmonize with one another. And that's the moment and a good signal to know that it's okay and it's time to find the courage to say no. In auctioneering, we use a tool called a reserve that helps me know as an auctioneer what I have to and can say no to. Meaning, if I'm going to sell something in the world at a fundraising event, I know that if I don't get X dollars for it, that it's going to be taken off the floor. It's called a reserve. It's something that we know, right? We walk into the negotiation. I walk into the fundraising event knowing that if I don't get X dollars for it, it comes off the floor. That's a no. I get to say, nope, it's not happening tonight. We're passing. So getting super clear with ourselves ahead of time is really important. And what you end up doing by saying no to counter offers that are off your plan, that are off game for you, is that you end up standing up for what's important to you. And it does require some perspective of abundance, knowing that there will be another opportunity, another reason to make an ask, another offer out there in the world. But saying no and walking away can actually be very confidence producing as well. In some other posts, I've talked a little bit about how getting a no can be energy producing, and saying no can also be both energy producing and confidence producing because we've held the line for our own boundaries in that moment. So you have to know that another ask may be right around the corner. I want to tell you a really quick story about the house that my husband and I bought almost 10 years ago. The price was out of reach for us. And so we made what felt like a strong stretch for us in our offer to purchase that home. And the owners came back to us with a counter offer that was outside of what we could possibly make happen. Like, there just wasn't any more money. So we had to say no. Was I disappointed? Absolutely. But was I clear about what was important? to us in terms of our financial health, in terms of where our boundaries were, in terms of knowing that like even without that house, our lives are going to be fine. There will be other houses in the world. We walked away and said, no, thank you. And there was part of, for my husband and I, it felt great to know that we stood our ground and we didn't get talked into something that really wasn't right for us. That we weren't convincing ourselves that we needed to stretch into a direction that was actually unhealthy for our household. We walked away. 6 weeks later, we get a note from our realtor. Guess what? They renewed the offer at our original offer and said, if you can get this together in 30 days, we're in. So we ended up getting the house. Not to say that you're going to get a yes to every offer that you put in the world, just to say that like saying no is okay and it's not always the end of the story. Even if we don't end up back in conversation with the person that we had to say, person or organization we had to say no to, there are other opportunities around all the time. I've heard this in the last year multiple times that somebody had to say no to a counteroffer for a new job and something else came right around the corner. So it is true, when one door closes, even if you're the one closing it, there may be another one that opens that is more aligned to who you are, what you want, what's important to you, and what you're trying to do in the world. I'd love for you to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, or on Facebook. You can find me at Dia Bondia at all three of those platforms. If this is all very interesting to you, I invite you to come to the website Ask Like an Auctioneer, where there's a few offers there for you. You can get on my mailing list so that you are staying connected to this kind of stuff as I continue to show up at events and ship new products into the world that I hope will help you be more courageous in your asking and also in your saying no, so that you can get more of what you want and need in your life and your career. And you can do that if you're watching me on mobile by just texting the word ask to 66866, and boom, you'll be on my I feel like I do that every time I give it a snap. It just boom, right there. You're on my email list. I would love to hear from you. If you have questions, please shoot them to me, and I will be honored to answer them in my weekly IGTV, which I do on Mondays. And here is your inquiry for the day. For those of you who have watched other episodes, you know that I will always offer you an inquiry, a question for you to hold, walk around the world with, to give you a little bit of insight into what asking is and the role it plays in your life and how you show up in it. Here's your inquiry for today. Where do I say yes to things, or okay, or fine, to things that I actually mean no to? What do I say yes, maybe, or okay to things that I really mean in my heart no to? All right, that's your inquiry for today. I hope to see you again. I hope to see you around the world and on the internet and in my inbox. Looking forward to connecting.